a larger congregation, but not songs unto the glory. And let me tell you, friends, not just singing, because this singing would bring him a lot of things. Number one, allow me to say, this man would acquire a lot, because through singing you get to be paid. Of course, he had been promised a very great pay, a lot of money. But this man, like, if you accept our offer, we are going to pay you well. Leave alone in the church where you play piano and people are just talking nonsense and they're talking even bad of you, even if you are helping them to get to see their creator. But now this man, because he had to have a good pay, I'm very sure this man would acquire the best houses ever. He would be able even to buy houses and lands to get enough wealth, and not just that, include even fame. Because when you sing, you don't sing to one person. After all, after singing, people would even take some of the photos, some of the videos, go share, and many people will be like, wow, this is the king within the town who sings and who is able to compose the right songs. But now, friends, I was reading, as I was going through this story, I noticed one thing with this man. In the process of contemplating what to do, something came to his mind. And this thing directed him to a certain poem that had been written by another person. And so George started singing this song. As he played that keyboard, I would rather have Jesus. And you know what, friends? This was now the point that this man said, I would rather have Jesus more than serving in the city. And that is how he decided to remain in church. And he wrote this song. Allow me say, just to sing one stanza, I would rather have Jesus than silver and gold. Because they had been promised gold and silver. I would rather have Jesus than have riches untold. You see, friends, in this world, if there's something that denies us even sleep, is riches. Hey, you try to sleep, Mr. Jim, you try to sleep, you look at your future and you're like, God, I want to strive and work hard to have my future bright. And so when we look at our future, we don't look at the future as a dim future. We look at it with a lot of hopes within ourselves. Like, God, I would love that my future be such an amazing one. Even before I was married, let me just tell you, I was looking at my future with my husband, such a bright future. Me working with my husband, every time he comes home, I get to wash his feet, of which I've never washed at any point. You see, you look at the future and you are like, wow, this is how I'd love my future to be. I want to tell you, these things deny us even sleep. And we are looking for the riches to ensure. And allow me to say, with a lot of humility, there's this syndrome, we call it if only syndrome. If only syndrome is like a disease. And this is how it operates, or rather this is how it attacks one's life. If only syndrome means, you are like, today you have something, but now you need more. You are like, God, if only I had. I want to use an example of myself. Immediately I was done with my studies, whichever level. I don't want to tell you guys who are watching in online, but those who are here, I can whisper. So the moment I was done with my education, I had that bright and at this certain age, I would love. And I know you'll give me a good God. I know you'll be with me. If only you give me a good man. Hey, that was now the syndrome that I had. And God blessed me with a good man. Praise God. Yeah, when you look at him, he's so good. Hey, a very loving man. Now, immediately I got into the marriage. Another if only came. Now, I came to notice that my man is no longer, he's not done with education. Now I was like, if only God will give us grace enough for my man to be able to finish the school. And that is what happened. And God really gave us that opportunity, and today he's a graduate. Now, another if only came, God. If only you gave us a job. Now today we have somewhere where we work. Now, there's also another if only that came. If only God you gave us a baby. Now, like you we seated there. I want to say this. If only syndrome, it's a syndrome that makes us not to rest. And because of that, we wake up every day straining and we forget that if only we